My first City Connect ranking came at the end of its launch year in 2021. The league has since more than doubled the amount of City Connect jerseys being worn. Only 10 teams have yet to get their City Connects, and they are all projected to get theirs next season. Before we begin, the 10 teams who have not yet gotten their City Connect uniform at the time of making this video are as follows: Cleveland, Detroit, Minnesota, both New York teams, Oakland, Philadelphia, St. Louis, Toronto, and Tampa Bay. Let us begin the rankings of the City Connect jerseys. But first,
disclaimer, there is no such
Alright, pause it. You know, I've actually been using that exact same disclaimer since 2018. Yeah, let's change it up a little bit. Disclaimer. The following video is nothing more than an opinion held by a random guy on YouTube. The common theme of this channel's ranking videos regarding the aesthetics of sports uniforms is not a subject of political debate. There is no source of information on this planet that guarantees or even justifies one baseball jersey being better than another, thus meaning there is no such thing as a perfect list. You will disagree with some of my selections as others would disagree with some of your selections. Try to keep this in mind before rushing to the comments with your panties in a wad. The latest City Connect jersey to be unveiled is also the worst of the 20 thus far, in my opinion. What I like to see in these City Connects is how they connect to the team's respective city. And to me it feels and looks like Nike was stumped on Pittsburgh, like they just slapped a PGH across the front and called it a day. Nike did create a set of new patterns that resemble Pittsburgh supposedly, which include an inverted Y to represent the three rivers of downtown Pittsburgh, an asteroid to represent the steel industry, and a box to represent the check of the city's seal. You can only notice these minute details when looking for it because of how small they are. It just seems lazy. There were lots of high hopes for these, but unfortunately they are probably the most underwhelming of all the City Connects so far. It's a simple black and gray appearance because the team says this is indicative of how people see Baltimore, which I guess is true because there's nothing colorful about that fucking shit. However, when you roll the sleeves up and unbutton the jersey, you will begin to notice a burst of color. This is to represent the many neighborhoods that shape Baltimore. To me, this is just another lazy and uncreative approach to a uniform that could have been so much better. There isn't much creativity in these either. The uniform is just full-blown Dodger blue, which in my eyes looks fantastic as the Dodgers only wear blue jerseys during spring training. However, when you look at how Nike attempts to connect these to LA, it just yet again makes me scratch my head. There are some franchises that are just traditional, and they don't like change or doing anything fancy, and it makes sense at the end of the day. The Dodgers are clearly trying to push the boundaries of tradition to this extent of which they don't fully break it, and it's conservative, and it works. But that's not to say they aren't underwhelming or boring or whatever. The only other unique part of this jersey to be seen is the black ends on the sleeves, which is supposed to look like spray paint and stand for the street art and murals of LA. Classic California, encouraging vandalism. These are a major disappointment for me. The Braves completely misunderstood the assignment as they went with the Hank Aaron Connect rather than an actual City Connect. The only part of the jersey that really represents Atlanta is the jersey logo that reads the A. It's cool and all, but it just doesn't have that City Connect feel to it, like I said. This was a lot more of an ode to Hank Aaron than it is to the city of Atlanta. For what it's worth, these really aren't that bad. Cincinnati isn't really a city full of innovation and recognizable trademarks. It's just kind of like a random city in Ohio that for some reason has a lot of people who want to live there. The uniform is supposed to represent the team in the city as it is right now, so they tried to come up with this modern / futuristic-ish design that brought an electric energy to it, and I must say, if that's what they were going for, they definitely succeeded. And right in the center of everything is the well-known nickname of the city, CINCY, which was the only right option for these jerseys. There ain't really a whole lot to these, so I'll keep it short and simple. The Cubs went ahead and decided to honor their Chicago war zone. I meant neighborhoods! With these cool Wrigley Field styled jerseys. Which is pretty cool, and the front of the jersey is to resemble the iconic Wrigley Field sign, which is also really cool. It's a little bit more on the plain side, but it does what it's supposed to do. Miami's uniforms are an ode to the old Havana Sugar Kings AAA team that won a League Junior World Series championship in 1959. This makes sense as it pays tribute to Miami's prominent Cuban culture while honoring success of Cuban baseball's past. While a lot of people probably would have preferred a Miami Vice themed jersey with accents of black, teal, and pink, it's a look that tends to be overdone if we're being honest. So I think the Marlins City Connect is actually a great look. Seattle took a more unique approach with their City Connect uniforms, as they say they wanted the idea of future nostalgia, taking a retro look and presenting it in a new way. The Mariners remixed a very similar design to the old 1969 Seattle Pilots jersey and turned it into an aesthetically pleasing look. The sleeve patch, which reads PNW standing for Pacific Northwest, pays tribute to the region they call home. It's a great looking jersey, but I still feel it lacks actual connectivity to Seattle in a unique way. The problem that I have, and a lot of other people tend to have with the Giants City Connect, is that it's just so basic. They really just slapped the two most iconic bits of San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge and fog, onto the jersey and called it a day. They did do a nice job at pulling off the Gradient G logo with the white at the bottom representing fog, and obviously the bridge on the sleeves. It isn't that bad of a look at all, it just feels like more could have been done. I guess what I'm getting at is that it's just underwhelming, but that being said, I really don't mind it. The Red Sox City Connect is pretty much entirely revolved around the Boston Marathon. The blue and yellow represents the finish line of the race, the sleeve patch with Fenway Park's area code is meant to resemble the number sign that marathon runners wear on their chest, and even the stenciled font is in honor of the marathon. I really dig the color combination, the color choices, even though it's not red, and the theme they went with overall. I think it honors Boston in a very creative way, and there's really not a whole lot wrong with these. Buckle your seatbelts, we have entered the top 10 of the City Connect jerseys. At number 10 we have the Rangers. The Rangers went with a very old school Wild West theme, which many probably could have predicted. They have a new Panther/Eagle sleeve patch for the jerseys, meant to represent the two old baseball teams from the area, in the Dallas Eagles, who played in the Texas League in the 40s and 50s, and the Fort Worth Panthers, who also played in the Texas League from the 1880s up until the 1960s. If you don't look into all the little history nods and references within the jersey, it just appears to be in the style of a Wild West theme, which is great for Texas, honestly. Probably the best you could have gotten out of these. The Brewers wanted to integrate their city, team, and fan base into their City Connect uniform, and they did about everything you could ask them to. The script across the jersey that reads Brew Crew is the most widely known nickname of the Brewers fan base. They also came up with a new sleeve logo, a barbecue grill shaped like a baseball to resemble the fans' tailgating culture at the ballpark. A white and yellow line on the bottom of the sleeves is to resemble the area's beer industry, more specifically Miller Lite. The overall look came together very cleanly. Now that we're in the top 10, it's really hard for me to choose which one of these uniforms are better than the others, because honestly, at this point, they're all fantastic. The White Sox have a true beauty in these. They have a textured pattern in the entire uniform inspired by the city's graystone architectural style, and the white pinstripes are a great complement to the textured black of the uniform. Most notably, the script of the jersey reads South Side, which is obviously representative of where in the war zone the White Sox play. These jerseys were pulled off fantastically. The Nationals jersey for City Connect has a subtle floral pattern on the entire thing. Rather than integrate famous landmarks like the Washington Monument, Capitol, or White House, which can be overdone as this is already a recurring theme in all the local sports teams' logos and uniforms, they roll with the area's cherry blossoms to represent the natural beauty of Washington, D.C. When these first came out, I wasn't the biggest fan, but now they're one of my favorites. These Diamondbacks uniforms don't fall short of a desert vibe one bit. The sand color of the jersey is to obviously resemble the Arizona desert. In Spanish for the word snakes, the script of the jersey reads Serpientes, as a nod to a large portion of Phoenix's population speaking Spanish. The jerseys have a splash of the team's red color to give it some character, which complements the sand and the black colors beautifully. On the sleeves, you have a blacked out Diamondbacks primary logo and an Arizona state flag. These are truly unique and fun. These are certainly the biggest eyesore of them all, but isn't that what's fun about it? The vibrancy of the colors is meant to resemble the landscapes in San Diego and Baja California. The font of the San Diego script is supposed to look like the beach signs in Southern California, and whatever you think about the quirkiness of the design, they do capture the Southern California theme quite well. Okay, now these are sweet. The jersey design has a giant green, snow-capped mountain to resemble the nature of Colorado. The font for the letters and numbers are the same as the famous Colorado license plates, and the yellow side patch is meant to look like the signs on the ski hills in the area. Even the purple sleeve stripes are supposed to resemble the mile-high seating rows at Coors Field. These jerseys are some of the best of the City Connect program. These are absolutely beautiful. These jerseys encapsulate that vintage surf aesthetic dating back to the 50s and 60s in Southern California. The font and colors scream 60s beach vibes, and it's done in such an incredible way. The sleeve striping is inspired by vintage surfboard striping. The numbers are meant to look like those lifeguard towers, and just everything captures the theme remarkably. These are amazing. A lot of people think these are boring jerseys and too plain or whatever, but these are perfect for what they are. Kansas City is well known as the city of fountains, and their City Connect jersey takes the fountain logo from their official city flag and flawlessly turns it into a KC. The sleeve striping is a nod to their 1985 World Series team, and the sleeve logo they came up with is also representative of the city's fountains. In my opinion, this is one of the most clever designs of the program, and it does its job properly by actually attempting to connect with the city. And at number 1, the Astros did not have to cheat to win this award. These are pretty much perfect in my eyes, and there's a reason the launch of the merchandise was the largest total sales day for the team since the morning after its 2017 World Series championship. These were and still are a huge hit in Houston, the city famous for their role in space travel. Threw together these beautiful space-themed jerseys. Across the front reads Space City. The sleeves feature a gridlock pattern to represent star charts used for space missions, and it features an orange-yellow gradient piping down the jersey. In my eyes, these are by far and away the best City Connect jerseys to date, and these honestly may just be my favorite uniforms in all of baseball. It was executed to perfection, period. Well, that wraps up my updated City Connect rankings for the 2023 season. Supposedly next season is when the remaining 10 teams are supposed to get their City Connect uniforms, but the league and Nike definitely have some hurdles to get through with teams like the Oakland A's, who are all but confirmed to pack their bags for Vegas in a few years, and my beloved Rays, who still somehow can't put together a new long-term goddamn stadium deal in the region. But even then, the A's are the main problem for this program. I can't imagine too many fans would actually want to buy an Oakland City Connect jersey or merch in general, knowing damn well they won't be in Oakland for much longer. Anyways, thanks for watching. I can't believe I'm still making these dumbass ranking videos 8 years later. Bye.